How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have After the Calm with us. He can say his name and what he does in the band.
Hey guys, my name is David Nunez, and I am lead guitarist in the band.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dave, for coming on. As we were talking about, I got a slew of emails, messages, all that sort of stuff about doing interviews. So thanks for that. But I had a chance to listen to one of the songs that you had sent over, and I was like, gotta get Dave's band on. So I'm curious.
Awesome.
I'm a huge band nerd, so I love asking this. How did you guys form After the Calm? How did you guys all come together? Because obviously I know you're a lead guitarist and you can only offer, a small snippet of the entire story. But how did you guys all kind of formulate? If you can tell me the story, the origin story.
The origin story, right?
Yeah.
The origin. Oh, well, it's actually kind of funny. We actually, it started out at a jam session
Okay.
on Memorial Day. This is back in like 2014.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and yeah, so we've been together for a minute, but at the same time, it was just like the beginning, right? We were just like, hey, my roommate, he was like, hey, come, I want you to, meet some friends of mine. Went over there. He's like, we're just gonna have a little barbecue, no big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And then he's like, Bring your guitar just in case. I'm
That's
like,
how you knew that was.
yeah, I was like, okay, okay, cool, all good. And then it was kind of like when someone tries to set you up on a date, like,
Oh, I got. Oh, I know that vibe. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, it just kind of so happened to be that these guys were just writing some music that I really, really dug. And the bassist currently today also jammed on that day. But what was funny, when I first joined the band, I was actually the bassist.
Oh
So
wow. Oh.
yeah, yeah. But just kind of fast forward things a little bit. So we jammed that day, and then kind of went on our merry way. And it wasn't until like a few months later that we jammed again, and that's when I was like, I got to be part of this band. I love the stuff that they're making. I want to contribute. So that's when I
Sure.
decided to buy a bass and do all that stuff. And then the guitarist that we had started the band with, he ended up kind of going on. He wanted to become a lawyer. We're like, hey man, deuces,
You do
you do
you.
you, And then I just kind of stepped into the place of his place, and then
Hmm.
brought my buddy. We call him Hanky. His name's Henry, but yeah, his name's but we call him Hanky. He took on the bass, and we were still looking for a singer. So it was me, Hanky, Cody, John, and that's the four of us, and it was just musicians, right? We're just playing instrumentals,
Yeah.
coming up with songs, and we're like, we need to find a singer, we need to find a singer. So we posted a Craigslist,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
yeah, and we actually found Logan Miracle. That's his real name. It's not a stage name. Logan Miracle
That's
is his
awesome.
name. Yeah, and the same thing with our drummer Cody Rattler. His last name seems like it's
Oh
like
my god.
something like you just
Some
kind
like
of
a
come up
rock
with.
name, yeah. Like somebody
Right,
like a
right.
guy, like a character in Rock Band or something.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and even goes with the fact that he's the drummer Rattler.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you kind of
Oh,
just like, yeah. So
it's
it's just
too
like
too too
perfect.
perfect, too perfect.
Too
I got
perfect,
you.
right? Yeah, too perfect. So that's how we all kind of came together, and we started making music, and we released was it 2 years later? Released our first EP, 2016.
There
So
you go.
that's yeah, that's kind of like the beginning of everything. Where most of us are, I think, born and raised Arizonans, so
There you go.
that's not too common either. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Oh, I'm sure, because I always have like I have bands on there like, oh yeah, I was from originally here, and then I like moved this state, and now I'm in this band, and like these guys are from like South Africa, and like I've heard it all, but like
right,
this it's cool that like you have that Arizona state pride, having all the
right.
members from Arizona. But I guess what happened kind of more recently, because I know that you, like you said, you released the EP in 2016. So what's kind of happening currently with like After the Calm, and like I guess from that point up until now, I know a lot of bands aren't doing too much because we're in
Right.
a pandemic still. So just as an FYI, people just wear your mask and get vaccinated when your time comes, because
Please.
I'm sure, as much as David is, we would love to get back to playing shows and going to see shows. And I'm currently going through show withdrawal, so it'd be very nice if you guys could, maybe do that.
Seriously, that would I totally agree. Yeah. So I back that up 100%.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was getting a little worried. I hope Dave believes in all this sort of stuff I'm saying. But
Oh yeah, dude.
but
It's for everybody else, not us, right?
a
Like
hundred percent.
that's yeah, yeah.
100%. But I guess keeping it more current, what's been going on with After the Calm? What have you guys been doing like in quarantine? Have you been kind of like trying to push for more stuff? Have you been recording newer material?
Right.
Give us a lowdown.
All right, all right. Well, since 2016, we've been making a lot of singles, and that's what we've been putting out mostly. But last year, we actually, finished recording our second EP. So we're stoked about releasing that. Obviously, we're trying to figure out everything when it comes
Sure,
to
sure,
this,
sure.
and it's kind of funny because in January we had a show and of last year, and we had a show and we told everybody like, hey, we're gonna go on this like little hiatus. We're gonna go and make our second EP. We didn't think this hiatus was gonna
Less
be
longer.
indefinite, yeah, almost an indefinite hiatus. But
Yeah.
here we are. Just really, really stoked trying to release these songs, and I think that's kind of been our main goal is like, how are we going to make this a successful release, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be able to play live in front of people. We want to be able to help push this to as many people as possible, and we know that requires touring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where we're just kind of been like, man, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do
Yeah.
this? And we're just taking it day by day, man, and really just trying to, you know, see how the waters are kind of going. And yeah, as you said, hopefully everybody's starting to take their vaccines, and pushing us to get to a place where it's to normalcy again, I guess you would
Yeah.
say, on being able to play shows. Because
Yeah.
I do miss people, man. I do miss the stage. It's just like one of those things where I didn't think that was going to be the last I was going to play the stage for a minute, right? It's been over a year.
Oh,
So,
100%, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah. Whenever I think
yeah.
about it, because like the last show I went to go see was uh, Silent Planet, Currents. Man, I'm even blanking right now. Greyhaven and Invent Animate I saw together on tour, which, by the way, fantastic lineup. So shout outs to Silent Planet for putting that together. But um, I was like, this isn't gonna be the last show. Like, certainly not. And I was gonna see. I think We Came as Romans. They were doing like a 10-year tour, and I
Oh,
was gonna see that because it missed my state. So I was just like, perfect, go see it. This may be the last show, and like it was literally counting down the days, and I think it was either like the day before or the day of that they were like, we can't do it anymore, and I'm like,
yeah,
so, and then they kept postponing it. And I mean, obviously, I know they think they're doing the live now, and I don't know if they're going to do the live, if they're actually going to play it live. Like, I mean,
hmm
they're playing it live, but in a video format now, like at a show. So that kind of makes me a little bit hard. It hurts me a little bit harder because I'm like, man, I really want to see that. But it's, I'm glad that they're taking the necessary precautions. But,
right, right,
yeah, but I mean, honestly, good luck with the release because I feel like, the bands that I've had on during this time and even last year, like, I feel like it's incredibly difficult for bands to navigate this. Like, I feel like
right.
if you're a band, like, I 100% feel for you. And honestly, that was like the reason why I kind of wanted to reach out to a lot of people because I know how difficult it must be to get content out and for people to be like, yeah, I'm really interested in this. Like, I didn't know you were releasing. Like, sometimes it could just be a matter of like, I didn't even know you guys were releasing an EP. And now I
hmm
know because there's nothing
Right.
else to do. So now I can like actually go listen to it. But it's tough, so I gotta give props to that. So hopefully you guys figure out what you're gonna wind up doing, and definitely send it my way. I'd love to take a listen to it, of course.
Awesome.
Um,
I appreciate that.
but I guess the next thing would be, I love the origin story. I thought that was really great. Like, I'm glad the Craigslist thing worked out too, because I've heard bad. I've heard horrible stories about
Horror
Craigslist, so
stories.
I'm glad you got, no pun intended, you got a miracle, because I'm sorry, I'm very bad at making these types of dad jokes, but like I
It's awesome, bro. It's all, it's all
but, but
good.
honestly, like, it's cool because, like, I always, like I said, I hear bad things. I hear really good things. I don't want to dismay people from checking out Craigslist, but I've heard some I've heard some weird stories doing these interviews for as long as I've done them for. But um, the next question, Dave, for those who are unfamiliar, who are you guys influenced by? I guess you more specifically, since I'm talking to you, and then I guess more broadly the band. Who are they influenced by?
Right. Well, it's kind of interesting because we're all age-wise, it's pretty far gap. Like the youngest one is like 30 to 34,
Okay.
and the oldest one is probably like 30. I think he's 36 now.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's like, you know what I mean? So there's a good about 10-year gap basically going on, and we're all, generally influenced by different bands. For me, particularly, huge Incubus and Deftones.
I could
Like
hear that. I
those,
could hear that. Yeah, I'm a guitar
those.
player at heart, so
Okay.
I was like Incubus. I was like Deftones. I'm all about that stuff. So I was on that was on point. So glad I picked up on that.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. So for me, those are my two major influences. But I could tell like from the rest of the band, A Day to Remember. That's
Nice.
definitely. I know Logan singing wise, definitely he loves Neck Deep. And there's definitely some crossover for a couple of the bands that we all like and stuff like that. But John's very similar to me when it comes down to Incubus, which is pretty funny because he's the other guitarist. And what was it? So that's kind of like the general. Oh, my bassist, huge Bayside. Like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's his
New
band, man.
Jersey.
Like he has a tattoo on it on his leg and everything. He got the Bayside tattoo. He's all about Bayside. But yeah, so I would say generally, you can say early 2000s rock has pretty much been a huge influence. I can say kind of spans throughout all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
can definitely hear that. Like I said, I did pick up the Incubus kind of right away. As being a guitarist, your ears gravitate towards the guitar parts, whether it be like lead work or rhythm work. That's something that automatically just like, no matter what I'm listening to, if the guitars are good, then like I'm not gonna say if the guitars are bad, it's not a good song. But like
I
generally,
got you.
generally I when I hear a good guitar part, I'm like, you know what, that's sick. Like, and I'll either be like in my guitar, like air guitaring a guitar part or whatever, so you can see me being wild in my car. But like, but yeah, no, I listened to the track and I was like, yeah, this feels like early 2000s, like rock. There's like a little Incubus in there. Like, I did expect A Day to Remember, because it does. I know you hit me up, I believe, in the pop punk forum, so like
Hmm.
it made sense that, like, I was like Neck Deep, A Day to Remember, that sort of stuff. But it's just got like a different flavor that's not like, I'm not like directly like, yeah, this is like A Day to Remember, or like, yeah, this has like this Neck Deep. It's got kind of like a weird extra variation. I think that's probably due to like Incubus, which is always a good thing. So people, listen, if you're like old, like, you're old like us, then you're gonna know who Incubus is. If you aren't, please go check it out.
Right, right.
Honestly, not enough people know about Incubus. But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, this is what I could get down with this. I was definitely into it. And like I said, I had gotten a ton of messages, so I was trying to listen back to whatever I could listen back to. Um, so I'm glad you guys kind of like vibe out with that sort of like early 2000s rock sound, because plus like just a whole host of like pop punk. I got a little pop punk vibes as well. So definitely really cool. I guess speaking more broadly about the band, what is one song, like, if you had to recommend a new listener, people who are watching this are like, "Who, I've never heard of this band. I really like to check them out." What song would you be like, this is the song I'd love to recommend to you to listen to first?
Well, I think I may have sent you Stuck on Repeat, right?
I
Is that
believe
the
you had
one?
I believe you had sent
Okay.
me Stuck on Repeat, correct?
So that one was to kind of very much show like our like punk roots and some of that. And But like our latest single that we put out is called Home Sweet Home, and it's a perfect pandemic song actually. And but I will say we did not write it during the pandemic. We wrote it before. It
There you
just
go.
so happened to
It's
kind of
just ironic,
coincide.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And what's really cool about it is that we have two different versions. We have one that is a full band rock version, and then we have an acoustic version.
Oh, very cool.
So what I kind of recommend that based off of, hey, if you want a more rock sound, go listen to that first, and then take a listen to the acoustic if you want something just more relaxing that's
Yeah.
kind of still vibey. You know what I mean? And I would say that would probably be the one that to kind of um, push out there, especially hey, it's our latest release, so that's
Yeah.
one thing
Yeah.
too.
Hey,
The
yeah,
acoustic one. Got to shout out somehow, but
you got
I
to
will
keep the pertinent ones, the ones that are in the fourth. I got you.
I will say though the one that kind of seems what is it universally loved has been Greenway,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's yeah. So I would say when you get a chance, take a listen to that. It starts off very not what you would think it would be, and then it changes, and that's all I'm gonna say.
There we go.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where you're like, okay, I'm vibing with this in this way, and then it goes a whole nother route, and you're like, whoa, okay, now I'm vibing it this way. So yeah, and yeah, so that's what I would say for if I was gonna recommend anything. So
There we go. Well, go check all of those out. I'll leave a link in the description for Homesick, the newest track, because I feel like that
oh,
one's good.
Home Sweet Home.
Home Sweet Home. Sorry, I don't know why I said
I know
Homesick.
you got a day to
I
remember
didn't
stuck in
remember
your
in the
head.
head. That was. I was like, is it a day to remember? I was like, it's not Homesick.
All good, all
Go
good.
check it out. I'll make sure to put the actual right song in the description because currently I'm going through an existential crisis in my head here. So, the next question would be obviously, who have you been jamming recently? What's on the Spotify? What have you been listening to in your free time?
Okay. So I've been a huge fan of Tame Impala, and as well as um, why am I losing it right now? This always happens when anybody puts me on the spot. My brain goes,
It shuts off,
yeah.
shuts down. That was me with Homesick, so that's how I know.
Well, you know what? I can tell you in absolutely 10 seconds.
There
Let's
we
see if I can
go.
do it. 10, 9, 8. Let's see.
I'll
It
let you cheat.
would
I'll let you
be
cheat, Dave. It's all part. No good.
awesome. Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I
okay.
can't believe like my brain just totally spaced out
Listen,
and
I just spaced out like 2 minutes ago, so I'm sure I'll let you. I'll allow it.
yeah, he released his full-length album and it has like songs that I just love. So I've been playing his record on repeat for like the past week. I've been just vibing with all his songs and he makes good music, man. I'm all about it. And so yeah, so Oliver Tree.
I would have never, honestly, when you said Deftones, I would have never picked that you would like Oliver Tree. So that you honestly, you kind of threw me for a loop. So
Uh,
I gotta give you props for that because if your range is from Deftones to Oliver Tree, I mean that's a pretty large range. If I had to be honest, So
okay, okay.
gotta give it the respect. I don't know if I'm almost positive I read this. Is he like retiring or like taking a hiatus or something?
So the thought is, this is what like theory is. This is what my singer actually Logan decided to kind of like have a huge conversation with me about. 'Cause he's all I have theories. I've been
Theory
reading the
crafting.
messengers and yeah and all this stuff. And the biggest thing is we're thinking that he's retiring his character Oliver Tree,
But he's still
and
gonna be making music.
he's gonna be making music, but as a different
Persona.
I guess persona. Yeah, and so I think he kind of did a subtle pass off, which I believe I'm trying to remember the name of this other character, but it's like an alien face, and he has like a yellow like yellow orange tracksuit. It looks pretty legit. Like I'll be honest,
Yeesh.
I thought it was pretty cool, and
Okay.
so we'll see if that ends up happening or he just puts out another album. But the theories are running, so we'll see. We'll see what he ends up doing. I have no clue exactly what that guy has in his head. He seems very unpredictable, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I'd rather almost be surprised, to be
You're just
honest.
waiting. You're just waiting for it all to happen, then you'll be able to be
Hmm.
surprised about it. Well, if you guys have any theories about Oliver Tree, drop them in the comments. I clearly don't know much of what's going on with this, but I feel like Dave will probably know a lot more, and he'll be looking at the comments, I'm sure. But uh,
Definitely.
the next question, Dave, is a fun one. If you guys collectively could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Ooh, okay. That's a hmm. I'm only gonna be able to speak from my perspective
It's
on
okay
a
though.
song
You're
that
the
I
one
think.
that's on here, so yours is the most important. I'm sorry I'm talking shit, guys, but honestly, Dave's the one who hit me up, so I'm just saying he might
Hey.
his vote might count a little bit more. I'm just I don't want to put it out there, but I put it out there.
Right, right. Well, I will say that I think we have toyed around before with Weekend, but
Oh,
we'll see because we played one of his older songs before, and we actually liked the direction it was going. We just never like actually went in and recorded it, and we even demoed it and everything. We just
oh,
never like followed through on it, and um, you know, it may be still on the table, but I think now that he's been releasing newer music, maybe something from his latest album or latest music that we can actually pick from and do something, but. Um, if I had it my way, it'd probably be an Oliver Tree song, to be honest.
sure, yeah.
If I had it completely my way, but at the same time, I think the band would be like, oh, yeah, Weekend sounds cool. Maybe we could do something from him, and then I don't know. Well, how about this, Brandon? How about when we know, we'll let you know.
There you go. I like that. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm going to be the one of the first people to know about it. I feel very honored about it. So, thank you, Dave. If you have any suggestions for them, go leave them in the comments. I'm sure they're going to check them out, especially a weekend track. If I had my own pick, if I had to guess what song, an older weekend song that you guys covered, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, Dave. I'm going to guess. Is it an old popular weekend song?
It's semi-popular, and the reason why is because we didn't want to go with the most popular on
Fair, fair,
purpose.
fair, fair. Okay.
Okay.
I like the weekend a lot. I won't say that I'm like a diehard weekender, but if I had to guess, I don't know. I feel like Starboy is pretty popular, honestly. So that was gonna
See,
be my
and that
guess.
was, I will say this, that was the one that like most of us were talking about, and we decided not to because it was so popular.
Okay,
You know what I
fair,
mean?
fair, fair,
Yeah,
fair.
and so I will say that. I will say that it was on the table, but then we were like, let's go and put that to the
Mm,
side because already saw some people covering it already,
sure,
and we
sure,
were
sure.
like, yeah, yeah.
Do
We do have
you?
a cover of Cups, by the way. I don't think you know that.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Cups. I'm all about
It's a
that.
it's a very, very punk version of it. We have a cool little funny video on YouTube. It has like 40 some like crazy thousand
Awesome. There you
views.
go.
So hey, people like it. That's a good thing.
There we go. Well, they're gonna have to follow up that sick cups cover with another one. So, like I said earlier, drop them down below. I'm sure they'll go check out the recommendations. But the next question, Dave, another fun one. Favorite food to eat? What's your go-to?
Chinese food. Love it.
Ooh, wow, that was like off the dome. I like that. What's
Yep.
your what's your meal? What do you get? What do you typically get? I'm curious.
Okay. Well,
Everybody's got like a
definitely.
tried and true, you know what I mean? Like the
Right.
you
Right.
go for like if you're like, oh man, I'm feeling adventurous, but then you're like, nah, I go with the safe choice every time.
Well, my go-to is definitely sweet and sour pork
Woo!
with some pork fried rice and some lau mein.
Oh,
Like
you're
those are
right.
that's the trifecta
It
right
is a
there.
trifecta. You're right. I had
Yep.
that last weekend and I literally felt like shit right after. But it's okay though.
Oh,
I feel like that's a natural course of Chinese food, you know? You eat it
definitely.
and you're just like, "Man, this sucks." But then you're like, "Man, but I feel good right now." So that's in the moment, you feel good, and then like the next day or like later on in that day, you're just like
Yeah, you're
dead.
just like
You're just like
food coma.
you're just like this. You're like my girlfriend came over last weekend and we ordered Chinese food and we literally were both like this. Like at the end, I was like, I don't want to go out and get groceries now, and she's like, we gotta get groceries. I'm like, all right, fine, let's get groceries. So we get up and get groceries. I think once you get up then it's all good. But if you just like stay comatose on the couch, done.
That's
You're
it.
done. So
Yeah,
you might as well just close out the day, close all the windows, shut your eyes, go to sleep, because Chinese food will put you out. But
yeah, that food coma, dude. It's that food coma.
I'm glad you know, Dave. Next question, a fun music question. If you were to have a guest spot on your next record and a producer you'd like to work with, who would be on your team of collaborators?
Whoa. Okay. Guest. And that could be just anybody that we would like.
Anybody.
Doesn't matter in what level.
I feel like, why don't you give me one realistic one and one where you're just like, if the stars aligned, we would love to have this person, like a dream person, you know?
Probably Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon in terms of like the. Yeah, that's the big one, you know, for sure. You know, for sure. If a more realistic one, let's see, who would be a realistic one? I don't even know. Oh well, I will say the guys from Escape the Fate live here, so
Yes.
yeah, you know, maybe a feature. Yeah, maybe a feature, because I think all of them actually go on and feature on different albums and stuff like that. So technically, it won't even be limited to just the singer. So could even get like the guitarist to feature on one of our songs. But yeah, Escape the Fate, I guess, in the terms of like someone who we could somehow have contact with.
Craig
You know what I
Mabbitt.
mean?
Listen, Craig.
Yeah, Craig Mabbitt, man.
Craig Mabbitt,
He's
listen.
good. He can sing, man.
You need to do it. You need to do it, bud. Listen, we're gonna make sure. This is what I do. This is the magic of you know, the internet. Craig Mabbitt, I know you watch my channel. Listen, I'm big plug for you. Just make it happen, man. I don't know what to tell you. Let's just like make it happen. Gonna add him on Twitter, at Craig Mabbitt on Twitter. You know, after the calm on Twitter. Just let's get it going. You know, what are we doing here in quarantine? Just staying home. So I feel like Craig Mabbitt might want to have, you know, he does a lot of stuff. So I don't want to say like he's not doing anything, but
Right.
he should do a feature on After the Calm. So Craig Mabbitt.
That would be legit. That would be legit. And we have opened up for his band a few times during the holidays. So hey, man, hopefully he appreciates. Yeah, I know he appreciates our music a little bit. It's like, hey, you know what? I'll throw them a bone. Yeah, I'll throw them a bone. Let's get down. Let's get down. So we'll see.
There we go. Well, Craig, you heard it. You heard it from the man yourself. Let's do it. So, next question, Dave. Another fun one. If there was another musical instrument you could master, what would it be? I know you play bass. I know you play guitar. But if there was another one you could learn and be real good at, what would it be?
Drums.
Oh, yes.
Drums. It's kind of funny. That was the first instrument I wanted to learn. My dad was like, "It's too noisy. I'm going to get you a guitar." So,
which is like I want to say equally on the same playing field. Like unless you have an acoustic guitar, it's just.
Well, that's what he got me.
Oh, okay. So that
he didn't even give me electric.
I was gonna say if he got you an electric guitar, I'm like, this is like same level of like loudness, you know, especially if you have an amp. You know, you're not gonna be gingerly with that volume knob. You're gonna crank that shit up all the way up to like 11. You know.
Yeah, and just get down, man. Just get down. Well, it's funny because you know, it's like, I think for him, he needed me to prove that I was actually willing to invest time into it.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to invest into a drum set is a lot, you know, bigger of an investment than a guitar, and especially an acoustic guitar.
Oh, 100%.
So I bet you for him, he was just kind of like, here's a guitar. If you actually practice and actually do something with this, then we will talk about a drum set. But you know, and guitar ended up just kind of taking my life, and I ended up being part of a band. And at that point, I'm like, I'm a guitarist. Yeah. You know, it's like that's how my brain just totally went like, I'm a guitarist. And, but yeah, if there's any other instrument, totally would be drums. Right behind that though would probably be piano.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, 'cause I do like piano.
Piano is nice. I will say, I feel like you're keeping the long tradition of audio addiction people that I've had on, that every guitarist I've had on has said drums at this point. I don't think
Really?
I've gotten one person that maybe like piano. I get a piano every once in a while from a guitar player. Everybody says
Hmm.
drums. Every guitar player says drums. I don't know. Please don't break this rule. Like this is like a tried and true rule of audio addiction. But like honest to God, I without me telling them, they're just like, yeah, I'd like to do drums, and I just think it's hilarious because I'm the same way. Like I'd love to learn how to play drums, but I have no hand feet coordination whatsoever. So that's my Achilles heel on that. I'm just good at air drumming, and then everybody looks at me silently. You know, I'm listening to like some heavy music, and then just doing some like on the steering wheel. I'm sure you know, Dave, when you're driving
Right.
and you're just air drumming and somebody catches you at that perfect moment. So, but next question, Dave, another fun one of my personal favorites because I'm a nerd and I love asking it. If you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Video game character, Cloud Strife.
Oh, classic.
You're like, yes.
Yes. Listen, we Final Fantasy stands out here. Listen, I feel like if y'all are on the JRPG roll right now, listen, I don't know what to tell you. Just play some Final Fantasy, and that's all I gotta tell you is just play some of
Did you
that
play
shit.
the Did you play the latest one yet?
I don't have. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a PlayStation 4 or I don't have an Xbox. I know. I feel like a heathen. I have a Nintendo Switch. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, so I've bought
All
everything.
good.
I've bought everything Nintendo related. Not that I have no hate or for PlayStation or Xbox because I feel like they're both great. But I'm sure Dave, when you have to pay bills and all that shit, my money goes to like a video game maybe like a once or twice a year, so
I got
so
you. I
I
got
don't
you.
think I could afford buying a PlayStation 5 if I'm only going to play it, and I do this, so this is my fun here. So
I got you. I
I know
got
it
you.
sounds stupid, but honestly I enjoy doing this. So
Hey man, that's not. That's pretty much the like. You don't even know how much like praise I'm giving towards you right now, because to me, like doing this, giving bands opportunity just to even talk to you and like talk about the music and be passionate and all that stuff. Like this is awesome, man. Like all I can say is thank you, for sure, man. So
well
yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dave. Well, I don't, I appreciate it a lot. I honestly feel like I'm very bad at taking compliments when it comes to the channel. So I appreciate it tremendously. I feel like my whole goal with just doing this is to just, I was talking to a band actually like last week about it, and they were asking me like, why do you do this and all this sort of stuff? And I'm like, reason why I do this is because there's so many bands that die out and go by the wayside, and no one knows about them, and I almost have like a guilt complex about it, which sounds very strange because like how can you have a guilt complex about a million different bands that like break up or go on hiatus or whatever? But honestly, there's just so many great bands, and including your band, of course, like that just are talented, and I feel like a lot of people need to find out about them. So even if like one person that's watching this interview is just like, I like Dave and Brandon, they seem cool, they both do cool things, like I'm gonna go like after the calm, and then you hit me up and you're like, oh my god, we got like this many new people that checked out our stuff. Listen, that makes me happy because as the running joke here on the channel is, I don't make jack shit from doing YouTube. So I want to make sure that people find out about good music, and that is my payment on anything. So if I do get above that, wonderful. If I don't, it's honestly real cool to just have people that are like, yo, I found out about this band from your channel, and I'm good.
Dude, that's the best. That's awesome. And
So
yeah, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
thank you, Dave. Well, anyway, after this very sentimental moment, and we were talking about Cloud Strife, which is again, go play Final Fantasy, like any one of them, but specifically 7 because 7's great.
Yes,
Um,
7.
the next question, Dave, is another music related question. If you were to compile a dream tour lineup, who would be on it? Obviously, it would include your band. I feel like that I would be remiss if I didn't say that.
Right, right. Well, definitely Deftones and Incubus will be on there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And man, in terms of like, You know what's funny? It's like we got to play with them right before they blew up, but I would love I Prevail
Ooh,
to be on that. You know what I mean? Those guys make some good music, and they're just killing it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And yeah. See, trying to see. It's always a hard decision to make because there's so many good bands out there
sure, yeah,
and bands that you grew up with. You know what I mean? And um, but like for me, let me just kind of just put it in perspective. You know, some of the biggest influences for me have been like Smashing Pumpkins.
oh,
You know what I
nice,
mean?
yeah,
And then Muse. Like
oh,
dude, like you know what I
mm,
mean? Like these guys make some of the best shows I've ever seen in my life in terms of production, like just
yeah,
crazy. You know, and I unfortunately would have loved to have been able to add someone like Linkin Park or something
oh,
because you know they've had a huge impact on me. And what was crazy is the year prior to his suicide, I actually gave him my band's EP because
oh,
he was
wow,
here accepting what is it, the Key to the City in Mesa.
oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, and he was there. It was during the Mesa Music Festival, and so he had like a little just thing where he got to talk to everybody and just kind of give a little speech. And after that, he did like a little meet and greet. And all I said to him was like, "Hey man, I just want to give you the music, something that you know you helped inspire, and you inspired me and the rest of the band, and just want to give this to you, not asking for anything, just
Just for you to
yeah,
listen, yeah.
yeah, just for you to listen to if you ever get a chance." And it was so weird for me to see our EP, our first EP, on the Key to the City to Mesa, because he had it like in a stack, and
Oh,
I'm
did
just kind of
it?
like,
Oh my God, that's
that's
so
just
cool.
kind of funny. I'm like, in this moment, this will never ever go from my mind. That will be a moment I get to cherish in my heart. But rest in peace, Chester. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I would say a lot of those bands would be an awesome lineup. Obviously, they're all from different decades. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, they are all
Yeah,
from yeah, they are all from yeah, they're all from different decades. That's pretty insane. There are some
yeah,
that
no,
are
man,
from
too bad.
similar decades, but yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
I feel like that, but I feel like that kind of speaks for your music too, because like I said, when I was listening to that, like the song that you sent over, I was like, it just kind of like that was something that I didn't point out earlier that you kind of nailed was like I feel like you guys kind of cover like everything. I would even consider a little bit before early 2000s like rock. You kind of almost delve into like 90s rock all the way up to like more current like pop punk, rocks, that sort of
hmm
genre, like the early tens. I don't even know. I don't know what to call after 2010. I'm just
the
gonna call it the
2010s. Yeah, the
2010, the
2010s.
2010s, whatever that era. I feel like you guys kind of embody that too. So like for you to say that like yeah my musical tastes kind of cover that like the decades, I feel like for
hmm
me it does accurately speak to your music, and I feel like you kind of nailed it out into the head. So people, if you are interested in any of that span of music, like I mean I feel like you're missing out on a band that could be really good for you. So go check them out.
Thank you, man.
Go check out After the Calm. Again, links below. But the next question, Dave, another fun one. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Ooh, favorite TV show, favorite movie. Okay, so favorite movie, well, Three Amigos.
Oh, yes, yes.
That's probably, yeah, my favorite movie. And then favorite TV show.
Yes, favorite TV show,
Okay,
correct.
favorite TV show, favorite TV show. Hmm. Okay, I will have to say probably Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that'll probably be Rick and Morty. But what's unfortunate is like I feel like there's styles of TV shows, you know what I mean, and things like that. I'm like, and I don't want to go into that subgenres of stuff, but so for now, I'm just gonna leave it at Rick and Morty.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we could go into it. I don't really care. Do you mean like cartoon, like
yeah.
cartoonish
You
TV?
got your animes, you got your, you know what I
Listen,
mean, you got your different
listen.
cartoons.
We are anime stands here on Audio Addiction. If I can, anime is great. If you have a recommendation for anime, feel free to say it right now. I don't really give a shit. I love anime. So
Well, like for instance, Cowboy Bebop, like
Oh,
yeah. See, you're already there.
oh, oh, that's I feel like that's a totem to anime. If you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, like do you really love anime? That's like I feel like that's like the one to listen to like watch, you know?
To watch and get really in because
Yeah.
you're obviously gonna get your Dragon Ball Z that actually was on general television, but you
Yeah, yeah,
actually had to
yeah.
look for Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, it wasn't just something that was just everywhere. You know what I mean?
If you
Yeah,
know,
I feel
you
like
know.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
I also have to ask you because I did see this and I'm very curious
Mm.
about it. What do you think about the live action version of Cowboy Bebop? I gotta give a shout out to John. I think it's John Cho or John Chu. I don't remember his name exactly. The guy from the Harold and Kumar movies.
Oh yeah, he's
He's the lead role in the Bebop like live action thing. So
I mean,
I fingers crossed. I hope it's good.
yeah,
That's what I'm wondering. You.
it's always hard with adaptations, right? You never know. You never know
Yeah.
where they're gonna go. You got Ghost in the Shell. Obviously, that wasn't the best of the best of the movies. Like it's just, yeah, exactly. But you never know when things might actually end up being good. To
Yeah.
me, so it's kind of like one of those. I'm hoping, I'm hoping,
I'm
but
gonna keep
I'm
the
also
bar
not.
really low, like real
Yeah,
low, so I'm not disappointed. And then when it comes out and it's better than what I expected to be, then I don't feel like I'm disappointing myself. You know,
I
that's how
do that
I.
with what was it, Monster Hunter? Even though like my friends are more into Monster Hunter than I am, but um, I went into the movie just going with the lowest expectations ever. And I will say this: the action was actually pretty fun. It definitely not gonna win any Oscars. It's not gonna win anything. But it's like visually, it was pretty funny, and like, cause like, I will say this: there really isn't much dialogue. That's what's pretty
There
funny
shouldn't
about it.
be. Yeah, it's a
There
literally a
shouldn't
movie.
be, right?
There's literally a movie about people hunting monsters. How much dialogue are they really gonna have? I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you already know the train wreck of movies that Resident Evil went to with
Oh.
Mila. So, you just kind of already had that bad taste in your mouth. So you're already thinking that this is
This is
probably
gonna
not
be
going to do
better. This
well.
is not gonna be any better or on the same level.
Exactly.
So I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully it goes well. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope that it's real tight. But I like the cast. I think the cast who they picked for casting was really on point. So I'm hoping they can deliver at least because I don't need Death Note all over again.
Oh
No, no,
no.
no,
Oh my
no, 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 no,
gosh.
no. We don't talk about that. We're gonna move on because I'm gonna be really upset about this. Um, the
Okay.
next question is, if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you, what record would that be?
Ooh. Dang. Probably, obviously you guys know my influences by now.
I would hope
So
so.
it
Yeah.
would, yeah, it would be the Make Yourself album from Incubus.
Ooh.
That actually
Ooh.
got me through high school. So I will say that will probably get me through a deserted island. That's how I feel. I'm like, hey, if I
Very
got me
fair.
through high school, hey, yeah.
Hey, that is 100% fair, but also a great choice because, like I said, I don't feel like I've had anybody on here that has been as much of an Incubus stan as
Oh
you,
yeah,
Dave. So I gotta give you props for that. That's
right on, man.
pulling one out. You're pulling one out for some good choices. Um, one of the last things, Dave, I'm gonna ask is a very I don't want to say it's like a heavy question, but like a question I like
Ooh.
asking about bands or your band specifically. Um, what do you want people to take away when they listen to like After the Calm? Like I feel like a lot of bands, like especially within this genre of music, talk a lot about like heavier issues or topics and stuff.
Hmm.
So what do you want the listener, people who have watched most of the way through this interview, what do you want them to take away from your band and the music that you guys are creating?
Well, definitely when we write, it's all about connection. We really, most of our, like probably 95, even I would say more, it's all, coming from direct, inspiration from our own lives. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And and if it's kind of not, it's kind of a mixture, meaning like it might be, you know, how we're feeling in our another family member's shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and how we're feeling in that kind of aspect. So um, everything about it is just kind of understanding that, hey, we're all going through the same thing sometimes, and we might not go through every single thing that everybody does out there, but there's going to be some stuff that maybe you might connect with, and feel like, hey, you're not the only person feeling that way. And I think that's pretty much our kind of goal, is just try to get our music to as many people as possible, and hopefully somebody connects with it. And if that happens, we've accomplished what
Yeah.
we were trying to do, and what's cool is that after many of our shows, when I talk with fans and things like that, people just say, hey man, your music helped me get through some stuff. And to me, that's the biggest like
Yeah.
fulfillment, and me feeling like, cool, I'm helping somebody, and my music touched them in some kind of way where they felt that, hey, this is getting them through a hard time, and not only that, we want you to have fun too to some of our songs, because some of
Yeah.
our songs are let's just have some fun, let's just party, let's just get
Yeah.
down, and so although there's the sad deep stuff, but there's the fun stuff too, we have a song that we're actually going to be shooting a music video for this weekend, for the second EP, and it's all about memories. It's all about you know making sure you live in them in the moment, because you never know when they're gone, and you're just kind of like, hey man, where did all that time go,
Yeah.
and you don't, yeah, and that's kind of like the biggest thing. You don't want to feel that way. So it's all about just trying to like live in the moment, enjoy those memories, make memories, go out there and just have some fun with your friends. And obviously in this pandemic, it prevents some stuff, but
Yeah.
hey, I do believe that, as long as you're doing your precautions and stuff like that, have fun with your friends, and make memories. That's the biggest thing. And with these songs that we're writing, we're making memories with each other.
Yeah.
Being in the studio, just going, yeah, just having a blast. That's what it's all about. So, yeah.
There we go. Well, I feel like for me at least, and I mean, obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, but like a lot of my memories are gonna be on the internet for a very long time since it's on YouTube, and so it's gonna be cool. I always joke about it. That I'm gonna show my kids these and they're just gonna be cringy to them, but for me it's gonna be memories, because like it's stuff that I enjoy, and they're gonna be like, Dad, why are you talking about this band that was like popular like 20 years ago? And I'm like, listen, let me just enjoy my time, fondly remembering these memories here, on YouTube 20. No, yeah. So like, it's gonna be very cool, and obviously, if it doesn't happen that way, I save them all on my computer, so I'll have those with me as well, and God forbid anything happens to those hard drives, but yeah, no, I feel like especially within this like pandemic thing, like I feel like I have more of appreciation for like the bands that I have on, and like the people in my
Yeah.
life and stuff like that, because it's just like, I feel like every moment that I have like a band on and I'm able to talk and able to affect their life in like a good way, hopefully, I think that obviously brings a lot of positive memories to me, and I'm going to be able to look back on it, and whether or not like I'm going to be doing this in like 20 years or not, I'm still gonna
Hmm.
be like super stoked about what I was doing at the time and what I'm doing now. So shout outs to your band. Go check out After the Calm. Definitely
Thank you.
a band to go check out. Obviously, Dave, you can plug your band. This is the moment. The time has come to tell
The time
people.
has come.
The time has come to tell people where they can find you at on social media, what you have coming up. You can talk about the EP a little bit more if you wanna spill those details a little bit more, and just anything else you would like to plug or talk about.
All right, thank you. Definitely appreciate it. I would say, yeah, we're going to be releasing our second EP hopefully sometime later this year. That's the plan. We do have our latest release of Home Sweet Home acoustic version. That's out now. We are on Twitch. We do stream. We do have performances, acoustic performances. We do covers and stuff like that too. So definitely check that out. It's twitch.tv/afterthecom. And all of our other social medias, it's whatever it is / after the com. Luckily, we were one of those bands that actually are able to do that,
Yeah.
where everything is .com / after the com. So any platform you're looking at, we're pretty much on there. Spotify, Apple iTunes, or yeah, iTunes and all, everything else. So yes, check us out. If you feel like one of our songs or whatever, definitely leave us a comment. We love to actually, respond and talk with people about our stuff. That's like the biggest thing that we love to do.
Yeah.
So, so definitely, yeah, check us out whenever you guys get a chance, and that's what I got.
Awesome. Well, as I mentioned, shout outs to the Pop Punk Network, their Facebook group. So if you are into pop punk or just like any adjacent genres, because I'm not a genre elitist, go check out that group on Facebook. I'm in it, semi frequently. So go, there's tons of great bands out there. I feel like I'm never going to be able to complete this well of just digging through different bands. So I try my best to just do what I can here on the channel. But if you want to go check out After the Calm, all of the links are in the description where you can find out about their band, their music, their social media. Go follow them on Twitch. I would be very cool to see just any sort of live music whatsoever. So I'm sure you'll get enjoyment out of watching them play their music. Go support them, because I know bands are really struggling right now. So if you are able to help them out in any way, please feel free to. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. You know what to do. You gotta add Craig Mabbitt and After the Calm on Twitter. Listen, you think I forgot about that shit? I didn't. So make sure to add them on Twitter. Let's make this happen, because Dave's cool. Dave's such a cool dude. So, and After Calm, such a cool band. So let's do it. Come on, guys. Gotta, like, the internet can sometimes be bad, but in this instance, we're gonna make it powerful. So let's go do it. And did you want to say something, Dave?
I was gonna say, hey, the internet brought back the Snyder Cut, right?
Yeah.
So if they can do that, they can do a lot of things. So let's just put it that way.
You're right. So go do that. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. I know a ton of YouTubers say this all the time, but generally it is very true. If you want me to be reached out to more people like you, it would be greatly appreciated if you shared it and just like the content. It's always very cool, and I can kind of get an idea of what you guys like. And massive thanks to Dave and After the Calm for coming on tonight and chatting.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate you, Brandon, for having me on and representing After the Calm. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep a good eye on your career, man, and all this stuff that you're doing. So definitely you'll be seeing me more.